well, I was supposed to be in the whole of this show with Patrick Carpenter. I was doing a soap in England called Emmerdale Farm, and I rang them up to I need 3 weeks off on my own, so I wanted to do this show. I told JNT, so well, I want you with it, so you've got 2 days off, just tell me. And I rang them, so I've got next Wednesday, Thursday off, so we sent the facts up, and there was a girl like that one. No, quickly as well. Ah! And I said, I'll do it, but just say, go back. When 3 of us met in the rehearsal, we just fell on the floor laughing, and JNT said, it's like we've been in a top.
Well, I was expecting a baby actually at the time, so I was very going to
Is that the one who's here?
No.
Oh.
No. It's a food baby.
Then that kind of might carry on.
She's not really.
So, which of course was a bit of a shock to the designer, because nobody mentioned actually, and he would not be able to run a taxi, obviously. So when I had my coat, he went, oh my God, no, this is not going to work. And that's the reason that I'm covered in bubble wrap. Because it was the only thing they could do last minute to cover their stuff. Which was a great start with, wasn't it, very specific? It was all big and fluffy. But you all know that nobody can walk past bubble wrap without popping it. By the end of the day, just completely non-existent, that bubble wrap, it was absolutely flat. So that's the only reason I did saw that like phrase.
It's great to see everyone on second 5 is having a go.
We all have problems, all day.
President, take on. It's like clockwork. I know it's like that. No, it's not like match day. We have children in the audience. So it's no secret that John Nathan Turner, the producer, was a huge publicity hound. So I'm understating too. Did all of you at one point feel the pressure of that? Of being put like how should I word this? I mean, you feel over here, he was constantly putting over the press and everything, so. Did you feel like he was like, you were doing a lot more interviews or in the press and more, or doing promotionals more for the product?
No, she wasn't aware of that at all.
Not at all, really?
No.
Janet, anything to say about that? Because I know he was huge on publicity.
I don't specifically remember for the 5 Doctors that it was huge on publicity, but at other times in the show, yeah, it was a big publicity. Yeah. And you only have to scratch yourself on set and it was, a news story.
Let's talk about the absence of William Hartnell, of course, who died in 1975, and how Richard Hurndale came to take over the role, and what was it like, Caroline, performing with Richard Hurndale as the doctor?
Well, I'm sorry, but it's Hurndale.
Hurndale.
No, Richard Hurndale was absolutely a delight. I mean, you can't say that he was the exact match of Bill because he was much taller than him, and he never intended to try and actually match him, but he wanted to be the essence of him. And he was terribly nervous that he wasn't going to get it right. So I had to keep reassuring him the whole time. And I thought he was great. I thought he was absolutely marvelous. But it was really creepy for me because I didn't actually meet him until he was in his costume. And we were filming in the inevitable quarry in Wales. And it was freezing cold, and we were setting up a shot, and they had him already standing there ahead of me, then they walked into it, and they asked him to turn around. And it was quite creepy, because he looked just like that. He really did. And it was lovely, actually, because, I think all the actors here are pretty tactile. I know you are, you love bashing people. No, but I mean, if you're a tactile actor, in fact, if you want to be doing this sort of thing all the time, and the other actor doesn't want it, it's pretty horrible to work with. Now, Bill and I, when we worked together, were always hugging each other. I mean, if you've watched he and I together, it's like we're doing something to me, touch me. And I loved it. I like that. whoever actor you're working with actually doesn't, and a lot of people don't work in touch, and you know it, they recoil. And Richard Handler was the same, he was lovely and cuddly and sweet. And it's such a shame, he said, could he be here now having a lovely time? It's a shame Bill's dead, he'd lie. Oh God, he'd take over the place.
Jack, do you have any memories of working with Richard?
Just that he seemed to be the sweetest man. He really was a very genial man. I don't think that William was a genial man.
What do you mean?
I know that you got on very well with him, but I think he was quite, in some ways, quite a prickly character, wasn't he? No?
Only once did I see him quickly. Bill loved to have a bet on the horses, on the GGs. And I love horses, and so we used to have chats on them. And while we were rehearsing, the Grand National came round. And he was taking bets on the National. And at one time he was saying, yeah, you're going to do it, so and so. Nobody is up for an accumulator. I had no idea what an accumulator was. And he explained it to me. I said, I'll do it. He said, oh, okay, all right then. So took the money. And it came up. And he never managed to do that. He was really glowering at me for a few days. I did. Yeah, but then I had to spend it on buying drinks for everybody.
This next question is for all of you. How was it working with director Peter Moffat, and had you worked with Peter before? Director
No,
Peter.
I hadn't worked with him before.
It was brief then,
It
so.
was brief. I mean, it was really brief to make any real comment about it. I was there a couple of days. That's all we did, didn't we? A couple of days. Yeah,
It seemed like a huge rush, the whole thing. I don't have much memory of it.
very
at all.
rushed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've worked with Peter a couple of times. He did not Forge of Doomsday, what's the one with the pterodactyl?
The Visitation.
Visitation. And he directed Visitation to start, and so I knew him quite well, and he was delightful. And, but, you know, I did have a hairdo that made me look as though I had a rat nailed to my head, and that's why. Not that I'm vain or anything, not half. Anyway, he was a lovely man, really, and rather flamboyant. He loved the glamour days of rank and all that, you know. So it's a great one for glamour, he liked that.
I must say he was a very correct man. You know, bread and butter. Do you have that expression, bread and butter letters here? No? In England, if you read tea with someone who dinner or had some kind of nice experience with them, you write a letter to say thank you, that was really nice. And I had a really lovely letter from him saying thank you, that was nice working with you, etc., etc. Didn't do me any good, never asked me.
Well, this is very much on the two doctors he was growing to work for. If you wanted to suggest a new line or change the line to die or whatever, he was that point. Great fun to work on the second one. And on the two doctors.
That's very good. That's what we're doing. In about 50 minutes, I'm going to open up for Q&A. But for that, I would ask everybody to form a queue on the side, and we have a microphone for you. So feel free to start lining up. Just to put that out of the way now. My next question is actually for, I guess, one for both Jeanette and for Carol Ann about working with other doctors outside of the one you were used to. When you had, of course, Pat and John Perkins together along.
And Tom.
And
Colin. And I did Sylvester's screen test.
Oh, that's right.
You're asking me what it's like working with other
With
doctors?
other doctors outside of your own, yes.
Well, apart from Paul, that I did the recording with, I haven't worked with anybody else except Bill.
It was just really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know that was the same. How do you find working with just Paul Peter and...
Oh, on that? Yes, on the five doctors.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating, yeah. It was a very funny moment, actually. Well, I hope you laugh. Peter Davison. He and I sort of got together for a chat about our moment when we were going to meet the first time. And we sort of worked out how we were going to be all astonished and, oh my God, that's really you, grandfather, and that's really you, granddaughter, etc., etc., etc. and apparently came across as a sexy mother. I've never heard that. Very strange. Who's accusing me of being involved with something sexy? Anyway, so we had to sort of rethink it and redo it. We had to do it our own moments. Okay.
Well, of course, I work with Colin, doesn't get on the two doctors.
Right.
About a different doctor. And Colin and I, we've known each other auditions of which one time we shared the same one. And that's what it is. So,
I beg your pardon?
I haven't had them married. And we got on very, very well, so that when poor Patrick was in the wheelchair and rehearsal, we got 10 days rehearsal. Every day we got and put that wheelchair back and Patrick brought that back. On the 5th day, Patrick, I've never seen him angry before, but he jumped up and pointed at me and said, "You little shit, you're supposed to be in my gang."
Well, I think that it is interesting working with different doctors. The one that I felt most nervous about, I think, was the screen tests. Because I did the screen test when I was collecting Sylvester. And it was really interesting to see 4 different people have a crack at the part. And Sylvester was, you know, I was really nervous that you gave everybody a fair crack at it. And yeah, so that was great. And I did Colin did a Doctor Who story while Arthur Ritchie, I think it was it Arthur Ritchie? Colin, was it?
He played Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell Silverhammer we used to refer to him as, yeah. And he, so we knew that he was already a Time Lord. I don't remember. I don't remember who the other 3 were. I can only remember one of them. I'm not going to tell you. They will know. They know everything. They know more than we do.
Was, having gone back and watched the episode, was there a monster or a villain that wasn't included in the celebration that you would have liked to have seen in the episode?
Tom Baker.
Anyone else have a question or anything into that? Fraser?
Yeah, I'll say Tom Baker.
Okay.
You
Caroline?
know, he was just a cardboard cutout.
Yeah, no, actually, it was a wax figure from oh, you know what? Let's forgo the question. Let's get into it. Tom Baker, was it more because there was an animosity between Donnie and Tom Baker, or was it another reason for him not to? Are we allowed to speak about why he's not?
Go on, Fraser. The Australian diplomatic corps is awfully small. For a reason.
What?
I said the Australian diplomatic corps is awfully small.
No, I mean, this is the story I heard. He didn't want to share his screen with other people. He wanted to be the doctor. He didn't want to share any time on screen with
I heard that as well.
Caroline, what did you hear?
Oh, open the phone thing now.
What am I supposed to say?
Oh, no, what did you hear? Did you hear any stories on why Tom Baker wasn't?
I heard exactly the same as Fraser, that's all I'm going to say. Just a minute.
No worries, no worries. Have you actually gone back and watched the whole thing recently? They did a special
No, I
edition.
wish I had actually, we're talking about it then.
Yeah, they did a special edition DVD where they've actually upgraded the effects and put it in the scenes. Yeah? The Five Doctors, yeah.
They put in special scenes.
Yeah, they put it in the upgraded the effects of it.
Oh, the effects.
Was it the triangle that comes in, picks them up, example,
CGI.
all CGI?
Oh,
And
nice.
something over there.
Can we see it? Have you got it here?
I thought we have.
Oh, put it down, that's all right.
You might want a picture of the time scoop, is that what it is? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start opening up for questions. Do you have questions for any of our actors, not just about Five Doctors, but Dr. Who in general? Please come on up. Is someone like heading on over? Go on ahead, you're first.
I'd like to say hello to all of you and thank you for being here. My question is for Fraser. First of all, have you seen any of the shows since 2005? Because my question is based on that.
Oh, well, that's it. No, I never saw any episode and I saw the tenant because I was doing a lot of theatre. And on Saturday night, I was going to the theatre, at 7 o'clock. I don't like the TV in my dressing room. I want to prepare shows. I want to watch it. So I missed a lot of. I saw it the last year of Tenant, and I thought that I'll see all of Paddy and I'll do it.
Okay, my question, in Tennant's second episode, Tooth and Claw, he introduces himself to Queen Victoria as Dr. James McCrimmon.
I heard he's James McCrimmon, yeah.
And the woman that plays Queen Victoria had been in one of your serials in the 60s, Pauline Collins.
That's right, Pauline Collins. She was in the face of Collins, and we got on so well with her that we wanted to stay with us in the TARDIS. Patrick and I, that's actually great actress as well. And she said, no, she turned the offer down and went off and went on Oxford with Shirley Valentine. So that's what she did. Pauline Collins.
Sure did, yeah. So, how do you feel about that double homage opening that episode?
Right.
How do you feel about that homage that they mentioned?
Oh, I love stuff like that. In fact, last Saturday in the Capaldi episode where in the background there's a huge wall with all companion photographs on it.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah. If you look at the background, it's kind of me and Nicola Bryant, Agnes there as well. But in the background, they're talking, so there's sort of a notice board with all photographs, and obviously who the characters were. So, well, you probably read the game board that wasn't seen, It was a huge board, but it was just.
Thank you.
I don't even to refer us to the classic series, I'll do that.
Oh, I should have put that piece together again. Next question.
I met Mark Gatiss on the show. I told him that I absolutely love that Adventure in Space and Time, and it was real one of the Doctor Who. So my question for Carol Ann is basically how accurate was that representation of the beginning of the show, particularly your relationship with William Hartnell.
Did you see the Adventure in Space and Time?
Yes, I have.
Your reaction to that, how you guys were portrayed, how accurate that was, the relationship?
Well, largely very accurate. I mean, Mark Gatiss is absolutely wonderful, and I'm a huge fan of his. And he does go into things terribly deep, especially Doctor Who, because he's crazy about Doctor Who. Doctor Who's biggest fan. And he interviewed us all before he did it and asked us endless questions. And the girl who played me, Claudia, I think did very well. Also rang up and chatted with me lots of times before she actually committed it to the screen. And I think largely it was fairly accurate. I mean, there were one or two little holes where it didn't quite come off. But apparently a lot of it was speculation too, because some of the things that they were talking about nobody could have known because it was behind the scenes and it was what did you think of this? Well, it was this, that, or the other, and nobody could possibly know that actually happened. But on the whole, I think it was, which I wasn't totally happy with some of the casting, but I won't mention that. but I think the writing was very, very good. And I found it terribly emotional. I saw it 3 times, and each time I finished up crying. Especially Bill. I mean, I hadn't realised how very ill he was. I mean, I had no idea at all when I was working with him that he was ill. And I think a lot of his tetchiness that people talk about was because of that. Because he must have known that he wasn't doing his very best. And he was a perfectionist. And he would have hated not to be able to do his best. The only evidence I had of it was in the very, very early ones, when we were all getting a little bit twitchy. I I'm thinking to this day that maybe he wanted to make us all relaxed by doing a practical joke by lining things up. And now I think maybe it wasn't, maybe it was, I don't know. But in the early ones, I don't know about the later ones, there was something at the back called a fault locator. And this was a great sort of series of computers, and if there was something going on with the spaceship, I mean, anything going wrong on the spaceship? Anyway, on our spaceship, things were going on all the time. And if there was something going wrong, then one of us had to dash to the back and find out what was on the fault locator. And that was usually my job as Susan to do that. And on one of them, Bill turned around to me and said, Susan, the fornicator, the fornicator. And it went out. It went out.
I actually think you could have played your part in that. I really do.